or do you want to keep recording?
Yeah, we can, whatever you want to do. We might get something good.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah.
You were talking about how the artists getting paid, and did you? I guess it'd be presumptuous. Did you see the Rick Beato video that just came out?
No.
No. Okay, so I didn't get to watch the whole thing yet, but you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he is great, man.
Yeah, it's an interview. He's been over in Sweden with Max Martin and all those guys, and this guy made an app that's all centered around all those acronyms, ISNB and IBSN and all, all those, whatever those are. The ones you mentioned one of them earlier.
Yeah.
But those he built an app, and that's all I got from it. And then I watched like the next 10 minutes. They were talking about all the problems of how you do all this work and you don't get paid.
Yeah.
But I watch that kind of stuff too, and I'm like, that's down the road a bit for me right now. I'm just trying to figure out how to get myself organized enough to crank out some original material. You know?
What's funny is that I'm on the other side. I'm like, I'll write the songs. That's fine. I need to know how this works. I think a lot of it is that I'm hoping to collaborate with people, and I want the people that I'm around to be as enabled as possible. And I also hate the idea that I didn't understand something that would screw someone else over or make them feel like I screwed them over, or I might actually screw them over because I don't know better, and it'll look like it later when their manager looks at, so like to me it was like, okay, if these people play on the album, what do they get? Do they get anything? What's what are the session rates, or what are the like the work for hire agreements, or the like what's the flow on that side? And then there's also like, okay, so the producer owns how much of the song or the master or not, like what are the norms? It's all open, like you can do whatever, but what are the norms? And then how do you track that? How do you submit that? This is all just foreign to me. And then like, what in the hell are mechanicals now that we don't have CDs and those things? And why is that triggered? And how is that triggered? And how is that tracked? And that changed in 2021. So there's a new, there's just what happened is I took a course that gave a lot of information, an online course, but their way of managing it was just hire an administrative publishing company that you give 15% to. And I know from I hate forms anyway, but like unpacking that later to get all of your 15%, if you do know how to go chase it all down, seems like a nightmare, and probably not the most fun process, and maybe not even successful or doable in certain ways because of the global filings and all that stuff. It's just, it's a mess. And so how do you do that? That is really intriguing to me. So I found another YouTuber who is really smart, and it turns out that like the songwriting person was also a YouTuber, and great. And I just reached out. I was like, hey, do you give lessons? Or like, hey, can I consult with you? And I got some consultation on this music business stuff, because I was like, no one knows, and like I'm hearing differing information from different people about everything. Like the ISRC thing again, like I wrote the government, I forget the agency, but I was like, okay, just tell me how this actually works. Like I'm confused. I'm a nobody, but I want to be able to create my own ISRCs so that I don't have to submit to Spotify if I want to track this stuff for things that are not published or distributed, and and they're like, oh yeah, it's $100 for life, and up to like 10,000 songs or something ridiculous, or 1,000, I forget. But
wow.
Anyway, so it's just things like that I really needed and wanted to know. And then the second thing was, okay, everybody is like sync. How do you make it in sync? And so I was like, let me go down the rabbit trail of that, and again, paid for another course just to have a grasp. And that course, candidly, was not very good until I got to the question and answer sessions. And then it was really, really good because it's all the nuance. You know how it is. It's like, I need a song for a commercial. Like, I need it so that I can release the commercial this Friday. And no, I don't. No, I didn't pick one yet. And it's Thursday. TV shows are often kind of in the same camp, or they can't get cleared. What does that even mean? Who clears what? How do you have access to that? What kind of information do they need to know so that I can be a valuable asset when they're looking for something to be easy to work with, you know? So anyway, it's that kind of stuff that I'm like, the business brain is, I'm excited and I'm having fun with it. So it's like, I was feeling guilty because I'm like delaying and spinning my wheels. And I'm like, no, yeah, I'm fine. I didn't know this stuff before. And the songs that I will write will have a lot more capability or potential being registered correctly, knowing where to go capture the funds, having all of the paperwork and the clearances needed to make it good for a TV show or a commercial or a movie, and ready, having it filed in places that make it easy for them to find that, or for me to be able to submit it in ways that make it easy. And, it's all that stuff. And even like down to the paperwork. Sorry, I'm going off on a thing, but down to the paperwork of who's allowed to clear it can make a difference of how easy it is for a music supervisor to clear it for television, And so like if you and I wrote a song together and we're like Kevin, you're in charge entirely. I'm gonna give you the rights to be able to just clear this for whatever. It'll make it easier. It's like, how does that work? I don't know. I'm far from an expert. Obviously, I've done a lot of research because I really needed and wanted to know that stuff. And I feel like I've been showing up and saying, how does this work, everybody? And everybody's like, it's fine. It works. Like, make sure you got your PRO. And, like, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. But it's because I was confused. And honestly, like, I read 2 of the quote unquote best business books, and I was still confused about the idea of like, okay, so there's the song that the songwriter writes, and then there's the master, and how does that work, and who's tracking what? Anyway, I feel like I finally have like been able to like pull the cover off. I'm like, oh.